you, if you are part of the baby black market, well, not necessarily part of it, but if you are a victim of it, or if people in your family have been victims of it, well, then what happens is that you've got family all around the world. You could have family anywhere in the world. You could have family in Australia, in the States, in England. You could have family in France. You could have family in Switzerland. You could have family anywhere. Anywhere in the world. That, well, anywhere. Close enough, you know? And, I mean, you could have had friends that you've known since you were a child. Didn't even know they were actually related to you. They were cousins, or great cousins, or little cousins, or aunts, uncles. You can't really know all that. I mean, when you're young, I mean, seriously, it's even hard to know now, but it's there. It's all out there. Seriously, there are, I think it's like 250 million, I mean, of these kids and these families and the people that are related and that are part or have been part or have had people that, you know, in their family that's part of it. And so there's some giant families, some huge families. And you would be surprised. It's like you could find hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. Heck, you could find thousands in some cases. And you got these, I mean, rich people, they wanted kids, and when they found somebody to sell them to them, or, you know, they jump into it, they would do it, and this has been happening for so long. And you have to remember, rich parents give up more opportunities to those rich kids, and then those rich people will give less opportunities to the poor ones. Most likely, keep certain people down. That way you can hide the truth. Maybe that's also part of it too. Maybe it's part of it. It's suppression. It's oppression. So I mean, you could have family that are celebrities. You could have families that are working, you know, high-paying jobs. You could have families that are on the street. You could have family, you know, you could have family members anywhere in the world. You could have family members, you know, next door. So now, I mean, and then this inbreeding. I mean, you have to imagine that it actually became a problem for them as well. You get people, you know, meeting up with their families and not knowing they're with their families and falling in love. And, you know, this must have happened in the past. Well, of course, it did happen. I know it did happen. There's no doubt. It's part of the problem. I mean, then after that, we have more broken genes in our gene pool. Then we have more missing genes in our gene pool. We have more health problems popping up in the population. And, you know, they could ignore that at first, but it just, you know, it just becomes an epidemic at one point where, okay, they just harvest those babies from the families that are left. Well, I mean, once those ones are inbred, but I mean, what are we going to have left for our kids for their future? We're not going to have much to offer except, you know, misery. And now I'm like, well, why am I finding all these couples that look alike? I mean, I've seen it in my friends, I've seen it, you know, everywhere. I've seen it in strangers, I've seen it in families, and then this politician. Okay, well then, he's a politician, so, I mean, would he be that oblivious? Seriously? A politician that oblivious? I don't think so. I mean, especially when it's 2 generations. Like, what is going on? I don't know. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, you would hope that you'd notice it somehow, you know? That something would ring a bell, or maybe not, maybe you wouldn't. But it's not right. A lot of people who would be in these kind of relationships, and they don't know, they would want to be out of these relationships, I'm sure. I mean, if they knew. And they wouldn't do something like that, I would hope. I mean, seriously. There's enough people on earth that you don't have to be with a family member, right? And, I don't know. It's like somebody rich, a politician, with somebody they're related to. That is just beyond me. But the whole point is that I'm in Canada, and this is a Canadian politician, a powerful Canadian politician, and that everybody knows. And I've been going through sheer hell. I've had my rights violated in so many ways, and then I've seen others have that same problem. And I'm like, well, you know what? If he's a victim, I wouldn't be going through this, seriously, because he would have the heart to actually stop it. But no. Of course, that's not what happens, right? I continue speaking up. I continue being, beat down. That's just the way it is, I guess, right? Well, it's because those people who are, beating me down, well, obviously they have a lot of power. I mean, you can't just, pull strings. It's not just anybody who can pull strings and make somebody else's life absolutely miserable, It has to be somebody who has some power and money. And, if that's what it's come to, well, then it kind of makes those ones obvious. It's almost like, I don't know if these incestuous people think like this, if they're like, well, you know what, I'm incestuous, it's okay, see, look, you're incestuous, you don't know it, but hey, you're happy, who cares, it's not a big deal, right? It's like, gross, I'm sorry, that's gross, there's enough people on earth, no, I'll find somebody else, like, seriously, if I'm not related to you, no, I don't want to have a relationship with you, no. And it's like, no, you're like, you're gonna think twice. You're gonna think more than twice. It's like, could be a cousin. Cousins are older, somebody don't look as much like you. Oh no, well, still gotta think about it nowadays. I've seen this, and what they did to some of these kids of mine who kidnapped, putting them together, and I've seen them, they just do this to, I don't know why it's like this in the last year. It's worse than ever. Worse than ever. And it's like, it can't be all a coincidence. I mean, what are the chances that you're going to meet up with somebody from your family like that that's been kidnapped and have a relationship with them? Would you really be attracted to somebody like that? I mean, because wouldn't you kind of feel like you're attracted to somebody in your family when you look at them? I would think most people who would be in that kind of situation would feel a bit awkward, but maybe not, right? It's just, the thing is that I'm saying is that when it happens too many times, and the way I've seen it, this is like just dozens and dozens and dozens, you have to kind of think, well, somebody is encouraging this. Somebody is probably pulling strings to make it happen. For what reason? Well, maybe because they want to normalize incest. And that's somebody that has power. So they're going to take it out on those ones who would be against that. And they would probably know which ones would be against that. And they'll probably, and those are the people that when they learn that they're with their brother or cousin or somebody from their family, they're not going to want to be with them anymore. And those are the ones that you'll know. It's like they're victims, right? So you kind of know because the way they react.